Hey everybody, it's Savannah Taylor, the Gardenista, your kitchen garden coach. And today I am going to be transplanting these tomatoes. If you missed my first video, I started these indoors and I hardened them off. And also, if you missed that bit of information, I'll just tell you really quickly. Hardening off means when you start plants indoors, they need a chance to get acclimated to the outdoors. So shortly after that last video, when I planted them and then I allowed them to sprout indoors, and that was about a month, okay. And then shortly after that, I started to bring them outdoors for a little bit while I was working outside, and then would take them back inside. I did it a couple more times until they were able to withstand the outdoors. If you fail to do that and you just stick them outdoors, you'll come out the next day and they'll more than likely be deceased. Okay. So hardening off is very important if you're going to be starting your plants indoors, which I like to do because I do feel that it gives plants a head start, right? So I actually have, let's see, 3 tomato plants. I'm just going to be showing you this one, and then, you can pretty much take it on from there. The reason why and also if you see here, I have my grow bags, that I told you all that I was going to be using. But you might be saying, gosh, that sure is a small plant for such a big pot. But actually, and I'm going to bring this up close and show you, it's not just one little plant. I'm going to bring it up close. Okay, so here I have the tomato plant, and there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tomato vines in this one little pot. So it's going to get pretty big. So that big grow pot back there, which is a 20-gallon, should be sufficient. But again, don't let the size fool you. Okay, and I also want to mention, if you guys notice, I'm sitting down today. I have the garden bench, which is also available in my Amazon store. And let me tell y'all, it is worth every penny. Okay, every penny. It is so important to be comfortable in the garden. It's really no need to do a lot of standing and bending over if you don't have to. Now, if that's what you want to do, by all means, be happy. But for some of us who like to enjoy ourselves outdoors, it's important to be comfortable. This bench also, you can flip it over, and if you want to kneel in it, you can also kneel in it. So it's really just a great gardening tool, a must-have in my opinion. Even if you just have a little small garden, just to be comfortable. So okay, so I'm going to take this tomato plant, and in my wonderful grow bag here. Again, if you missed that video, I've spoken extensively about these grow bags. I just really love the control that it gives me over the plant. The watering gets distributed. It doesn't get root bound. They have what's called air pruning. So when it reaches the end of the bag, it won't let it, wrap around and get root bound. So, but just wonderful bags also available in my Amazon store. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently, and I'll just come up front so you guys can see. Hopefully I don't make too much of a mess, but hey, anything for y'all. Okay, so I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to run my fingers through the vines, just to give them support. Okay, hope I'm getting it in the camera. And I know I'm going to make a little bit of mess, but it's okay. So let me squeeze it around a little bit. Okay, and it was sitting in water, so it might be a little soppy wet on the bottom, but it's okay. Okay, we're going to flip it over. And oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Look at those beautiful roots. Okay, so it's time to pot it. Okay, and this, you guys, is, as I always say, it's not rocket science. I'm just going to make a little bit of not a deep hole, because I'm also going to add soil to it, but I'm just going to lay it down. Sometimes, people they'll say, oh, rough up the roots and stuff. You don't have to do that. They'll find their way in the soil. Okay. And again, this seems like such a little plant for such a big pot, but even though the grow bags are really wonderful with the air pruning, Again, this is 8 tomato vines, so I don't want to push it. And also what I'm going to do is I am going to, when I'm done here, I'm going to take a tomato cage and I'm going to stick it in this bag. I don't want to wait until the tomato vine starts growing and then you put the tomato cage in there, because you can damage the roots if they're already starting to reach out to the edge of the bag, right? So the time to put your tomato cage in your pot is when you pot the plant. Okay, so just remember that. But again, we're really done. I'm just gonna backfill a little bit here. I have my soil bag. This is another wonderful reason why to have, this little bench here to sit, because look what I can do right here. Bam. Okay. Makes it much, much easier. And you know what? It's springtime right now, and I just want to put this out there. It's springtime right now, and I see some little things flying around, but guess why they're not coming over here? I have on my eucalyptus oil. I'm telling you, check out my video on natural organic insect repellent, where if you don't want to put a lot of chemicals on your body. I have on my essential oil, uh, the eucalyptus oil, and it is working. I'm comfortable on my bench. I'm comfortable in my space. The mosquitoes are staying over there. I'm over here. I'm telling you, these little gardening hacks are wonderful. And even, like I said, even if you're not really even into outdoor gardening, just to enjoy your outdoor space, you want to be comfortable. You don't want to be eaten alive. Okay. Okay, you guys, and we're good to go. We are done. We have potted our tomato plant. Like I said, I do have 2 more plants that I'm going to go ahead and pot after this, but this is pretty much it. And guess what? Here's the thing. Tomatoes need about 90 days to start fruiting, but we've only got a little less than probably 2 more months to go with this tomato plant, because we started it indoors. Okay, so we're almost halfway there. Now I'm gonna be a little transparent here. I don't know what tomato plant this is. Because I planted so many different tomatoes. I planted cherry tomatoes, beefsteak, and Roma. This is one of the 3. So let that be a lesson. It's important to label your nursery pots when you put the plants in. And usually I am pretty good about that, but I think I got sidetracked and I forgot. And I'm not that good at telling tomato leaves from one another. I'm pretty sure there's someone out there who can do that. I ain't that good. But either way, if we get beefsteak, it's we're gonna be good. If it's Roma, we're gonna be good. If it's cherry tomatoes, we're also gonna be good. Here's some pictures of some tomatoes that are from last season that were absolutely delicious. They were cherry tomatoes. I was not able to grow my beefsteak tomatoes. I'm not really sure why. I think it either got too hot, or I might have caught a little bit of a plant fungus or whatever. But thankfully, and I will talk more about this, I did not put my tomato plants right up against one another. And that's another little trick of the trade I will talk to you more about as this tomato plants start fruiting. I keep them separate so that if one catches something, the other one's not going to catch it. Tomato plants, if you remember from my first video, I said tomato plants can be divas. Okay, they can be divas, high maintenance. But even if you are a beginner gardener, I say go for it. Try it, because you learn. That's how you learn. So yeah, that's it, you guys. And as you can see, the dog's starting to bark, so it's time to go. So I hope you all this is why kitchen gardens matter. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. All of these things that I mentioned are always available in my Amazon store. And until then, I will see you guys again next time when we grow something else. All right. Bye-bye.